BlackRock CEO Lawrence Fink recently fired off another one of his annual letters to top CEOs of publicly traded companies, this time targeting activists. I'm joined by Ron Orol, senior editor for The Deal. Ron, can you tell us a little bit about this letter?
Yeah, absolutely. This is kind of an annual letter that he sends to S&P 500 CEOs and a number of other large company CEOs. And throughout it, there seemed to be a kind of a negative activist message. He raised concerns about short-term pressures, that companies should not give in to short-term pressures from a variety of different areas. And one of the areas he brings up is activist investors. You can imagine he would be opposed to an activist pushing for stock buyback, special dividends at the expense of the long-term success of the business. But in it, he also acknowledges that some activist investors take a long-term approach, so he's not completely negative on activists in the letter.
So not completely negative on activists, but what's at the heart of this? Do Fink and BlackRock not really care for activists?
Yeah, well, actually, in my research, and I've talked to a bunch of proxy solicitors, proxy advisors, activist investors, lawyers, and a whole bunch of different groups. And the sense I get is that they're more supportive of activists than people think. BlackRock actually has a list, apparently, of activists that they like and don't like. I imagine the ones they like are more long-term. And there was a really interesting recent Houlihan Lokey report that came out suggesting that they are maybe more supportive of activists than two of their similarly sized and rivals, Vanguard and State Street. And it said that of the 22 largest proxy fights that took place over a 12-month recent period, BlackRock supported the activists 45% of the time, which is significantly more than Vanguard and State Street, and that the BlackRock really kind of tries to engage with activists and companies. It seems like they try to engage a lot more. So maybe more supportive of activists than this letter might put out there.
So what's the broader implications of this? Is BlackRock sending a message, maybe a less friendly message to CEOs in other forums and behind the scenes?
Yes, I believe so. In the letter, he is critical. Fink is critical of CEOs in certain parts of it. But in other forums, BlackRock executives are pushing for a number of things that CEOs, a lot of CEOs really don't like, such as proxy access, and they're generally opposed to most poison pills. They find the two-tier pill, which is supportive of institutional passive investors, but makes it more difficult for activist investors, to be troubling. They don't like staggered or these classified boards, and they want to see chairman and CEO split. These are all kind of things that activists also support in their campaigns. So it seems like they're maybe a little bit more supportive of activists than this letter suggests.
All right, thank you so much, Ron Orol, senior editor for The Deal.
Thank you.
And I'm Brittany Umar for The Street.